Okay.
This is News 9 at 7. Over to
Jane
you.
Doe, interviewing Daniela Cadigan, discussing the differences between the Israeli government and the American government.
Thanks, Jane. It's a pleasure to be presented with the opportunity to present my country in this interview. The conflict with Palestine has made schedule time very difficult.
The pleasure is mine, Daniela. Now, could you fill me in on the progress of the conflict?
Well, as you know, government over in Israel has established a law that all Jewish men in the country must serve for the military for 3 years. Does that work the same in America?
In America, the government used to have a mandatory service, but as the years have gone on, we have done away with that. Military service is now voluntary. What kind of government agencies are currently in place to protect your people?
Well, back in 1920, Haganah was established to defend Jewish settlements. The Haganah was taken over by the Jewish Agency in 1929. Then, on May 26, 1948, the Israeli government ordered issue number 4, which established Israeli Defense Forces, which prohibited any other armed forces within Israel's boundaries. Today, the Israeli government controls Palestine, and the government resources are disproportionately directed towards the Jews and not the Arabs. What kind of government agencies are in place to protect the American citizens?
Well, here in America, we have many federal agencies, 479 to be exact. The most common that most people know is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, the CIA, the DOD, and the DHS, and so on. What is the current status on the Israeli-Palestine conflict?
Well, as of now, the Israeli government controls Palestine, and the Gaza disengagement was part of a unilateral, which means one group, plan adopted by the Israeli government without consultation with the Palestine government, but, however, we did consult with the United States government.
You mentioned the Haganah and the Gaza. Could you explain what those mean?
Of course! The Haganah is a loose organization of local defense groups, and the Gaza Strip is a piece of land between Egypt and Israel.
Thank you for the clarification.
Did you know that just in the Air Force alone, the government spends around $319 million per year?
Ugh, that's nothing compared to the American budget. The government issued for our military a whopping total of roughly $663 billion a year.
Wow, and Israel's government does not have and has never told the public the size, location, and weapons that are in the army.
The American government is quite similar. You see, they're very secretive when it comes to Area 51, and agencies such as the CIA. Little to no information is known about, or is available to the public, especially the location and activities in Area 51.
Let's talk about the education here for a little bit.
Okay, well, what do you want to know?
What is the American government's mission statement for education of the American citizens?
The mission statement in America is, quote, to promote student achievement and preparation for global competitiveness by fostering educational excellence and ensuring equal access. What is the Israeli government educational mission statement?
The Israeli government states the educational system aims to prepare children to become responsible members of a democratic, pluralistic society in which people from different ethnic, religious, cultural, and political backgrounds coexist.
And is school compulsory for any age like it is in America?
Oh, of course. It is mandatory that all kids go to school for 11 years, and the schooling for kids between ages of 5 to 15 is free. The Israeli schools are based on the Jewish values and focus mainly on science and technology because the government thinks that it's the most important and has the largest demand of jobs here in Israel.
And do you have the same grading system as here in America?
Well, I'm not sure what it is in America, but we have A's, B's, C's, D's, and F's, and an F is considered failing. The grading scale goes 0 to 54 is an F, a D is 55 to 64, C is a 65 to 74, a B is a 75 to an 83, and an A is an 84 to 100. And as for the classes, they have pretty big sizes. They're roughly 30 to 35 kids per class. They call their teacher by their first name, and they have the same school hours over in America, but they go to school on Sunday for religious activities.
That's so interesting. I had no idea.
As far as government goes, do you have 3 branches like Israel, like the legislative, executive, and judicial branch?
We do.
Wow. As far as the legislative branch, we are called the Knesset, and we have the House, which has 120 members, and the Speaker of the Knesset and 2 arms. The government has made 12 standing committees.
And how does the Israeli government pass a law?
A bill must be presented by a Knesset member, a speaker must sign it, it must be published in the official gazette, and it must be signed by the President of the state, the Prime Minister, and the Minister responsible for laws.
In America, a 2/3 vote in both houses must pass it, and the president must sign it for a bill to become a law.
In the executive branch, we have a president and a prime minister. The president is elected by the Knesset in a secret vote. Those elected are well-known public figures, and they serve a 7-year term and can only serve 2 terms.
The American executive branch is made up of the president and the vice president. The president is elected by an electoral voting process. Each state gets a certain number of electoral votes based on their population. A candidate must receive 270 electoral votes to win. They serve a 4-year term and can only serve 2 terms. The American judicial branch has a supreme judge in the Supreme Court located in D.C.
Oh, really? In Israel, we have a Supreme Court located in Jerusalem, but we don't have a Supreme Judge.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much, Daniela.
Thank you, Jane.
Back to you, Brandon.
Oh, not me. I'm gonna have to